And I say, let's just come on, come on, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. We feeling alright. Let's just come on, come on. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. We feeling alright. Weather's good. I'm down for it all. Phone off. I won't answer calls. I'ma say.
Vibe Show 97.9. It is going down real exclusive with the one and only Grammy nominated Billboard Global Artist, record producer, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur. Man, listen, it's going down real official tonight. So I hope y'all prepared, man. The email's been going super crazy since we announced that this king was coming on. So listen, it's going down tonight. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Y'all keep it locked in. We come back. We'll be back with the one and only James Worthy. Ooh. Yep, Vibe Show 97.9. I'm your host, Kano the Don, the Vibe King. Y'all already know what it is. Hey, man, listen, it's been a minute, I know, since y'all seen my face. You know what I mean? We had to take a little break, man, and sometimes you got to unplug sometimes, man, from working because we always grinding 24/7. But we are back with an exclusive. Y'all know I love exclusives, and I've been trying to get this king, man, for I really feel in my spirit, in my soul, it's been like 2 years, man. I'm telling you, but I'm super excited. We finally making this thing happen. And guess what? We got you guys tuned in. I'm talking about, this ain't no small fish right here. This guy been on the grind for years, working with so many different phenomenal artists, from writing, behind the scenes work, as well as doing work on the front end as well. I'm super excited. I'm talking about Grammy nominated Billboard Global Artist. Let's be clear. Record producer, singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur. I'm talking about the one, the only James Worthy.
What up? What up?
What up, King?
Man, blessings, brother. How you doing?
Listen, first and foremost, man, it is an absolute honor, man, to have you on the platform. Like I said, you know, you out here making major moves, doing major things, man, blessing a lot of people's careers as well. I'm just super excited. And on behalf of me and the whole Vibe family, man, we want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to vibe out with us for a little while.
Oh, no, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for having me on your platform, man. You know, I watch you guys too all the time. So, you know, you guys do amazing work yourselves.
Blessings, man. Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know, to be honest with you, I'm very impressed. I'm a huge fan of your work. Your accolades are crazy. And like I said, you know, everything that all the blessings that's happening for you, right now and over the years, man, is definitely attributed to you blessing people as well, man. So we're gonna dive into this interview. Starting off from Royal Soil, Queens, New York, man.
Yes.
You know, I wanna start there, James, because that's the beginning. Um, but I want to ask you though, was it always music for you, or was it something else that you? Because we blessed with multiple talents, you know what I mean.
Right.
Did you discover your music talents early on, or you were playing sports or doing something different? Talk to me about that.
Well, in the very very beginning, I never came from a musical family, so
Oh,
a lot of things that I've learned throughout the years has been trial and error, just learning on the fly, just being a student to not only just music but entertainment.
right.
So that's always been me from a very very young age. But um, I've always had music in the house from,
Mm,
just different styles of genre. You know what I mean? So, it could be hip hop and R&B at one time, and then it could be soul, it could be house dance music, it could be, jazz, whatever it was that was in there that felt good is what I was listening to. So, that was the first and foremost. But it was me that took the initiative. Okay, I want to do music. I want to be in the music business. I want to do entertainment. And I just never stopped.
now that's interesting. That's how I know that you blessed with a gift, Jay, because like now because man, you're good at multiple things when it comes down to this music game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know now. I'm trying to figure out and tap into this. Is there some self-taught skills going on in here? Because I mean, man, you play instruments as well,
Yeah,
drum,
yeah.
keyboard skills, also the guitar as well. Talk to me about that. Like when did you tap into discovering that you had that skill set as well?
Yeah, everything was self-taught, really. And don't get me wrong, I had, mentors, that definitely showed me a lot of different things as far as the technical side of production, whether it was hardware or software, things like that. But a lot of it was just me trying to figure out what I wanted to do
Uh,
musically, and where I wanted my footprint and my lane and sound to be, you know what I mean?
right,
In that regard, nothing is overnight. You know what I mean?
right.
It takes years and years of practice and perfecting your craft. But, I've been fortunate enough to be around so many great uh, human beings and musicians and artists at a young age to where, I always felt like I had the one up because I can be in a room with all of these people and meet these people that many others could not
Right.
at a young age. So I was just pretty much soaking everything up and just using what I learned to my advantage.
Right, right. And that's impressive to me because it's so relatable because I was self-taught too. I was an artist. I chased my artist dreams 20 plus years in the business and you know I definitely get it, man, because like coming up in those eras that we came up in the music business when we got bit by that bug and really fell in love with it. It felt more organic. It just was a different time then,
Yeah,
to fall in love with music. Everything was organic, everything was different, everybody was kind of, and you really had to have skills and talents because everybody was
absolutely.
different. So even with you, your style and being a fan of your music and your work, I hear so many different legendary influences. I hear it in your music, the way you write. Your pen is just simply ridiculous, and all of the people that you've worked with it's just absolutely impressive to me, Jay. Like, you know what I mean? But the thing that impressed me the most about you is how humble you are. Even with all of the accolades and accomplishments, man, like I pay attention to you. Like I said, I'm really a fan, and I just watch how with everything that you've accomplished and everything that you got going on 24/7, you just still this humble dude who's still touching the fans, really touching
Yeah.
them and really appreciate the love that they show. Talk to me about how do you maintain that when you've been around so many different celebrities, you've accomplished so much in your career on your journey thus far, but yet you're still humble.
That's a good question. I guess at a young age, I've always had humility inside of me. I never really was one to I guess be the cocky person in the room or be
Right,
the most I guess be the person that's always looking for the attention.
mhm,
I've always been the person I can walk into a room and automatically get the attention,
right,
just because of an aura or energy, and those are things that people have told me as well. So about myself,
right,
and I've never really felt the urge to uh, not be humble because I'm always an advocate of the work speaking for itself. So I'm not really one to really be the loudest and tell everybody I did this, I did that, or I know this person, I know that
right,
person, and blah blah blah,
right,
because it'll be known when it needs to be known
right.
to the people that need to know it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I don't feel like I need to broadcast everything at every time. But I think also too, it depends on the type of person you are. Like with me, I'm just more of a laid back person. I just love to work. I love to create. I love to do
Right,
different things that make me feel good.
right.
And if it becomes successful, I'm blessed and I'm appreciative. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
if it doesn't, I'm off to the next thing, because
Right,
us
right.
as creatives, that's what we do.
Right, man. Very, very well put. I like how you put that. And that's one of the things that I really adore about you, man, because I watch how you move. Even with this social media, the way you move on social media, man. And I think that that's why so many people, you know, love you, and so many people are they really appreciate and value what you bring it to the table because of your interactions, the way that you stay on the ground with it, even though you've accomplished so much on your journey and still accomplishing things and opening up doors and working with so many different amazing people. Now,
Yeah.
on this journey though, Jay, you yourself know, as long as you've been in the game, talk to me about some of the difficulties though, like upon the earlier stages of coming into the game. Was it what you thought it was, with viewing it from the outside of the bubble, and then now you're inside of the bubble? Talk to me about some of the difficulties and things that may have been a shock to you, like whoa, like you come in, with a certain type of heart and vision for it, the way that you viewed music, but then when you get on the inside, you see like, whoa, wait a minute, okay, this
Yeah.
is weird. Yeah, talk to me about.
Wow. I mean, it's so many different scenarios and situations that I've been in through my whole career from top to bottom. And it's always going to be a thing of, when you're young, you're impressionable. You don't
Right,
know everything that you need to know. So it's always going to be a trial and error. And of course, I've been a victim of that, doing, you know, um, probably business dealings that I shouldn't have been doing, dealing with the wrong people, doing this, that, and the third. But, it's all life lessons and learning lessons at the end of the day. So those things
mhm,
made me realize what I need to do and what I don't need to do. But also, too, um, I've been through situations to where, like, um, learning how labels work, learning how
there we go.
they really, they really own you. and
Well,
and a lot of people really
let's
don't
talk about
understand
it,
that, is
Jay.
they really can own someone's work. And I mean, you're just left out for the fishes. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? So those
mhm,
those are things that I had to really, really understand. And also understanding how business is structured, because throughout the years, the trajectory of business has changed so much. Of course, we come from the days to where, like, it was actual record stores and people
that's
going to the
right,
store to buy an actual CD because a new artist dropped. You know what I
right,
mean? But now it's mostly digital.
right,
So those kind of days are extinct. But if you didn't keep up with the times, or if you didn't continue to be updated on what's going on, I mean, it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to stay afloat. So those are the things that I had to deal with, is making sure that I'm staying updated on how business is structured now, how contracts are structured now, how labels are moving now, how people are consuming music, and how us as creatives are getting paid.
Right there. We're gonna highlight that point right there. Um, and I try to enlighten artists all the time. Me and Jewel, because when we're doing these music review shows and stuff like that, to contribute back to the culture, to shine light, open up doors and stuff like that. A lot of artists, man, that I found on my journey in my career, they just that, they just artists. They're not taking the time, as much time as they're spending in the studio working. They're not taking just as much time to really study the business aspect of it, until it's too late.
Right.
So I feel that that's very important that you touched on that, because like you said, the game is changing, man. And if you're not evolving with the game from the business aspect and from the music aspect of it as an artist, then you're going to find yourself in those positions to where you're not making any money, to where you didn't sign a bad contract. All of these layers are important. There's so many different layers, and especially now, it's really spooky right now if you don't know
Yeah,
what's going
yeah,
on.
it's a rough game. It's a rough game, and it's right now is a time to where you really have to pay attention. You have
Mm,
to pay attention to what's going on, and not even just the industry, but pay attention to your own audience. Pay attention
right,
to the people who's actually watching and listening to you, because there's analytics for a reason.
right,
There's things that we can see on the back end for a reason, because these are the tools that we now have to use to our advantage to understand where people are in the world.
right.
Back in the day, there was none of that. So I think now, because we do have it and we've had it for quite some time now,
Mhm.
you take advantage of it.
Right. From your professional experience, though, do you think that a lot of these rules and a lot of these things that's in place when it comes down to the music business is structured that way for artists to not be able to come out on top?
I definitely think the industry right now is quote unquote rigged.
Mhm,
I can
mhm.
say that because it's just a lot of pay for play going on. It's a lot of popularity contests going on.
Right,
There's a lot of it's just a lot of bad business. I think right now more than ever, everybody's just out for theirs, and
right,
everybody's just trying to figure out how to get to the next check or to the next bag, and cutting out anybody else involved. You know what I mean?
right.
Back in the day, it was about ownership. It was about collaboration. It was about coming together and making something become classic and timeless. Not to
Mhm.
say that there aren't people now that's still within that, but more so than ever, it's just a crazy politicky game right now.
Right, right. I think that is great that you put that in the forefront just as much as you care about your craft and the music. And I think that's why you winning, going through the process, going through you didn't really skip any steps. You know what I mean? Just really diving into your background and diving into your music journey. I did research on it, and I love it, because even when you're doing interviews, you're always sharing information from learning tools and things that you've acquired, that the experiences that you went through on your journey. You're always willing to share that. A lot of people not willing to share that knowledge. The space that we're in right now, 2023, in the game right now. How do you feel as a Grammy nominated Billboard global artist, record producer, singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur? Like, how do you feel about the space that we in 2023 from an artist standpoint and a entrepreneur standpoint?
I think we're in an interesting space. I think we are in a creative space because I do see people um, collaborating a lot. I do see people creating a lot in the sense of, before there wasn't a lot of genre mixing going on.
Right.
Some like right now, it's like when you listen to something, you maybe won't know how to classify it. You may
Mm-hmm.
not know what genre to put it in or what to call it.
Right.
So I'm thinking that that is the new way of making music. Is just making music that feels good, that makes you, feel whatever you feel, whether it's good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
but um, it's not classified in a boundary. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is right now. There's no boundaries. There's no ceilings. People can just create and make what's dope. And that's what I like about it is it's just no ceiling no more. So I can go in and make what I like and what I feel and not be um, pressured to make something that's already been made or
Mm-hmm.
make something that people feel is gonna be popular or whatever. Like, we just gotta create what we like. And
Right.
at the end of the day, the people decide what they like.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. Vibe Show 97.9, man. We just in here vibing out with the one and only James Worthy. Listen, y'all make sure y'all keep it locked in. I gotta go pay a few bills. We be right back. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Ooh.
What's new and hot on the scene? The Pink Smoke Cigar Company, a black, female-owned boutique cigar company offering one-of-a-kind, hand-rolled cigars from proprietary blends created specifically for Pink Smoke by the J. Will Cigar Company. Their exotic recipes are blended from various regions of Nicaragua, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, the Dominican, and Honduras. What's certain is you'll experience the most unique, even fresh smoke your palate has yet to discover. They're so hot, they were the premier brand ambassador at the 2022 Men's Style Gifting Suite for Super Bowl 56. For more information, go to pinksmoke4u.com. That's pinksmoke, the number 4, letter U.com to experience Pink Smoke's sexy, classy cigar culture. Contact L Group PR Agency for bookings and events.
Back with the one and only James Worthy. We just in here vibing out. Shout out to everybody, man, that's listening on the radio airwaves, and shout out to
What
everybody
up, y'all?
in the live chat right now, showing my special guest so much love. Now, James, I gotta ask you, man, did you run into any difficulties with the name James Worthy? Because we got the athlete, legendary athlete James Worthy.
Yeah.
Did you run into any complications as far as with that name?
Probably in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, people was just trying to figure out the two.
Right.
And it's funny because people don't even realize that that's my real name.
Facts.
That's the name that my parents gave me. So, I think in the beginning people kind of thought that I was maybe clout chasing
Mm-hmm.
or trying
Mm-hmm.
to, use his name for my gain or whatever. But now I don't have that problem anymore. But in the beginning it was a little bit of a discrepancy, but we good now.
Absolutely. Did you have to make any adjustments as far as with the search engines or whatever? Because when you type in James Worthy,
Yeah.
just outright, of course, the legendary James Worthy is going to come up, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta keep diving and searching, and even with YouTube, how do you iron that out?
Yes, it's just all about your how much content you have,
Mhm.
around your name and all the metadata and all the stuff that you have around, what you do. You know what
Right.
I mean? So those are the things that I had to do to make sure that people separated us. So um, you know, we had it took a while to do it, but we got it done.
Have you ever met James Worthy?
No, no, I have not met him. I have not met him. People tell me all the time I should do it. But
That'll be dope.
maybe one day in the future we'll probably bump heads.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I see it. I see it happening because, like I said, you're heading, the place that you're heading, man, is just it's just phenomenal, and it's really a
Thank you.
blessing to be able to be here to witness greatness, and your brand is just it's growing and growing and growing. Talk to me about the importance of consistency, because I feel like you have a consistency balance. Um, and I think it's because a lot of the pitfalls that you went through, you understand. You've been around so many different legendary artists. You've worked with so many legendary artists. You've written for so many legendary artists, collaborated with so many legendary artists. Consistency, though, talk to me about um, remaining consistent, though, because I feel like you're in a real consistent space with blessing us with product.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that, because probably in the last couple of years, I've kind of felt like probably I had a little chip on my shoulder, if you
Really?
will, because it was a point in time where I kind of fell out of love with music. I kind of
Wow.
felt like, there was just a lot of BS going on, and a lot of, political stuff going on with the business side of things. And, sometimes it can drain you, you know what I
Mhm,
mean? And,
mhm.
I just didn't really have a lot of motivation to create music at a high volume at that time. So, once I kind of got out of that rut and, got back creative, that's when I became more consistent. And, it was just more of a thing of, okay, I have to not only show, my fans new product and new creativity and all of that, but it was also, a one up to the industry. Like, okay, you guys try to, hold me down, for a little minute, but, now we back bigger than ever.
Right. Talk to me about how do you stay mentally guarded from the business, though, man, from the lights, all the Hollywood stuff, all the temptation, because like I said, you're deep in the business now. It's no secret, it's not a game. It's your profession. It's what you do. You know what I mean? It's putting food on the table,
Right.
um, off your gift. But you yourself know, in this business is not easy, just to remain mentally sane with all of the distractions. Now it's on a whole nother level now. It's because it used to have the mystique, and that's one thing that I loved about the earlier stages of the business, the
Yeah.
mystique. Artists would, put out a project, they would, promote the project, get on the road with the project, and then they would get out of there for a minute and, give us an opportunity to fall in love with the project, love the songs, know the songs. And it's like, now we in, I understand evolving, and everything is, moving to the next level as the years go on, and new technology and social media and all of this or whatever. But I still feel like that mystique is important from a fan standpoint. um do you feel like we in a space where we giving the fans too much all at once, to the point to where they can't really even fall in love with the project that you've worked so hard on?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think sometimes people oversaturate themselves,
Right.
and they I think they kind of diminish the anticipation for people to get excited about what they're doing, and what they're releasing, or what they're getting ready to release, or whatever it is. That's the whole point of the mystique, is you want people to have an inch, but not a whole foot into what's going on. You want them to
Right.
have some type of mystery and some type of anticipation, for what you're going to be doing next. So that's always been my thing, is always give people enough to where you got enough to hold on to, but there's so much more after.
Right, right. And that's my whole thing, man. Like, and that's another thing that I paid attention to, that you do whenever you're rolling out a project. The focus is there. Everything from the artwork, you know, everything that I've seen that you've done, you can tell that it was well thought. There was some major thought that went into it. How involved are you as far as with the cover art, the rollouts, the way things are rolling out? Because some artists, they get comfortable, they sit back, they just allow their team to just, hey, look, go ahead and do what you got to do, whatever. How involved are you when it comes down to the overall James Worthy brand?
Oh, I'm super involved. It's like, anything that I have my team do, they make sure that they run it by me first. They confirm it with me first before we put anything out to the public, because, I take that very seriously. I take not only the brand seriously, but I take the presentation seriously, the packaging, the message behind it, anything that has anything to do with something new or the brand. I'm really, really hands on with it. And, just besides the aesthetics, even the music, like I'm very, very hands on with the music in the sense of the mixing of it, the sound of it, the end product.
Right.
I have to make sure that, everything is exactly the way it needs to be at all times.
Right. From a creating standpoint, what's like the process for James Worthy, man? Because like these pieces that you're coming up with, nothing sounds the same. And I do think that that does attribute to you also being a producer as well. You are a quadruple threat in this business. But you know, with creating, I feel like you're creating these moods, these vibes, you know what I mean? And the music just keeps evolving with each project,
Yeah.
but you yourself know, as an artist, we do fall into those creative slumps sometimes because when you're dealing with a lot of labels and different things like that, they kind of basing it on a lot of the other music that's out there or whatever, and it kind of compromises your individualism. How do you stay in a safe zone with that?
Um, Usually, when I'm creating, I don't listen to other artists,
I'm,
or I
I'm
don't I don't listen to radio. I don't listen to what just came out or anything like that. I'm always in my mood and my mode, to where, once I'm complete with it, then yeah, I might see, what's new and who released what. But when I'm in that time, I'm just creating from the heart. I'm just
right.
creating what's in my mind, and what's in my head for it to come out.
I like that. I feel like that's important. That's important too. Like you said though, we are in the most creative space that we've ever been. But you also was in a space before the social media stuff too. And
Hmm.
it was a different grind and a different hustle then. What was the transition like for you though? Because when you come in a different time era in the business, when things are different, and then social media just hits you, like boom, this is the new way. It streams now, it's this, that, and I feel like the space that we in now, I think that it's a great space, but I also feel like it's a space too that with having to go through different corporations or whatever that actually control a lot of the services, the streaming networks.
Right.
It's sort of like, in a way, we still kind of at odds a little bit, because that stuff could be adjusted and arranged as well. Talk to me about the transition for you.
Um, it was. I think it wasn't just me. Of course, there was a lot of other people that got affected and had to
Right.
go through it. But coming from the physical CD era,
Mhm.
and people actually having to go to the studio
That's right.
and create together. Um, I think that was probably the most authentic time,
Yeah.
because it forced them to create organically. It forced
Mhm.
them to have relationships with each other. It
Right.
forced them to actually show their talent, full fledged. You couldn't go to Quad Studios or to Daddy's House, or any big studio that had major musicians and you didn't deliver, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think from that to where things are now, it's digital, to where, like, a lot of people is just sending things through the email. You know what I mean? Sending tracks through the email, verses through the email, files through the email. You know what I mean? And a lot of people just aren't in the same space
Right.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of it is just FaceTime, Zoom, or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? And not to say that sometimes that doesn't work, but it can diminish the quality of the music,
Right.
because it's just different things going on at once. So, I'm thinking that, even with this new project, we had a chance to actually be in the studio
That's why
and
it sounds
create
the way it
this.
sounds.
We created that in the studio together, to where, I did not want that to come together through the email, or sending
Yeah.
things back and forth, because the energy wouldn't be right, the sound wouldn't be right, and just the camaraderie between two different style artists, it just wouldn't have came across the way that we needed it to. So I made sure that we had to be in the studio together.
Yeah. I mean, you could just, we producers, man. So we know we have a different type of ear. And I knew you guys did that, because you can hear it, man. You can hear, I feel like you brought Gipp is just, he a legend, man. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
that's my
And I
big
felt
brother, man.
like you brought something else out of him, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's, see, the way that you're moving in this business is what I really admire about you, because it's like you're not looking down on the ones that kick the doors open, the ones that put in their work before us. You working with these people.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So, that's what I wanted to ask you about, the Gipp Worthy EP. What's the story on how this project manifested and came together?
So it's an interesting story. So I met Gibb about 2 years ago. And even before that, we met in passing through other people, but we didn't really, really officially meet and chop it up until 2 years ago. And at this time, I was working with the rapper Corrupt.
Right.
And at the time, Corrupt was living in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. And I have a studio in Atlanta. So he would come to my studio and record records there. And this one particular night, we were working on this record. He wanted me to do a hook for him. And I did the hook, and he did a verse. So
Mhm.
after he laid his verse down, he said, "Hey, what do you think about putting Big Gipp from Goody Mob on this?" I'm like, "That's different. I
Right.
would love to see what he would sound like on this type of record," which,
Mhm.
fast forward, come to find out, this record turned out to be top of the world, which is on Gipp Worthy.
Wow.
And this was the first time we all were on the same record together. So Gipp came to the studio. He came like 30 minutes later. He wrote his verse right on the spot, and he recorded the verse. So we were all on the same song together that night. So from that
Hold up,
from that
James. Wait a
encounter,
minute. Wait, man. Come on now. Don't take me
yeah,
fast, my brother.
yeah,
I mean, that's a moment, man.
it sure
That's a
was.
moment. Continue, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was even happy that we were able to do that in the studio all at the same time. I'm like,
Right.
that's really, really impressive. But after that night, we just stayed in contact. So,
Mhm.
we just kind of checked in here and there. And one day I just hit him. I said, "Hey, what do you think about doing some more music together? I would love to do some more work with you." And, he embraced it with open arms. And, I sent him some stuff. He came to the studio with me, and we just kind of started creating new stuff together. And we ended up working with a guy by the name of John William Flautis, another recording artist. He also plays the flute. And we released a record called Night Drive, which is myself, Gipp, and John. And the record just took a life of its own. And after that, me and Gipp just started working continuously. So that kind of birthed Gipp Worthy, because we wanted to continue to keep the momentum and the energy that we had going into a full project.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. It, you know, you yourself know those moments right there mean more than anything, man. You know, to be able to work together to build a brotherhood. You know what I mean? I mean, like that's the stuff that I'm talking about. That used to mean the most to me, man. Just that whole creative process of being in the studio together, actually working because he got ideas, you got ideas, y'all bringing ideas together, cooking up. I mean, it don't get any better than that, man. And those
I
have
agree.
been some of our most iconic, legendary albums, projects, singles. The one you know the when they used to all
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, when they used to be Dre and all them everybody in this. You got all these creatives in the studio working. You don't know what you're gonna come up with. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And that's the magic of it. You never want to go in with the expectations. You're just going in to create something great and
Right,
something that's going to stick eventually. But in the beginning we don't know. We just making what was hot and what feels good, and we're all in agreement to that. You know what I mean?
right,
So even with Top of the World, that was just a record that we were all in agreement with when we did it that night,
right,
and it just felt good. So um and I felt like once time goes on, that's going to be probably a standout story within this project, because you know just that studio session alone is what really set the tone for Gipp Worthy.
right. Gipp Worthy, man, out right now on all music streaming
Yes,
platforms. If you do not have Gipp Worthy, please go and stream it right now. Go and download the project. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. The project is out now on streaming platforms. Nobody has no excuse to not go and at least
go
give
get
the
it, man. Go
project a
get it.
go.
It's
You
doing
will not
phenomenal
be
already.
disappointed.
We already top 10 on the charts. We're doing hundreds of thousands of streams already. My brother Gipp, he messed around and went viral already on YouTube. So
I saw
everybody's
that.
looking at us, just in the sense of um, trying to figure out what's going on, but also just listening to the music. I think that's the crazy part, is how the chips have been falling. Is we our focus, of course, was Gipp Worthy, and it still is, but we didn't know that we would go viral.
Right,
We didn't know that was gonna pop off. So it's just timing. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy that the project is being received so well, and people just showing so much support and so much love. And it's just a beautiful thing.
right. Let me ask you this, man. How do you feel like the because I feel like and if I'm wrong, please correct me, man. You know, how do you feel about all of this madness that's happening in the business now? I feel like we just losing a lot of amazing people, man. Um, in the most weirdest ways. I feel like we're just all at odds right now. It's like, it's not about working together anymore, and I still feel like we still have that out there, but it's like a lot of stuff is going on, man. And I don't know if it's the younger energy, um because it's mostly a lot of our young talent
Yeah.
that's just passing, man. And I just, with you being on the inside, looking out, like I just would like to get your feelings on it, because you came in a different place,
Right.
and you're still in it in this most recent place that we're in right now in the entertainment business. I just want to get your thoughts, because I know you being humble, being passionate about the arts. I know that things that you hear affect you in a certain way, because it affects me as well, because that's not the reason we got into the business.
Yeah. It is a tough time. We are losing, our loved ones. We are losing our great ones. You know, in the past 3 years, I've lost two people that were very, very close to me in the music business.
Right.
Rest in peace, Ecstasy from Houdini, one of my biggest mentors. Bobby Brown Jr., rest in peace, Bobby Brown Jr., which is
Rest in
one
peace.
of Bobby Brown's sons, was one of my best friends. I grew up together with him. And, you know, and several other people, rest in peace, Takeoff,
Right.
really good friends with Takeoff. So, you know, I think right now, you know, it's just sad to say, but this game has a lot of witchcraft.
Right.
This game has a lot of satanic things going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, I think a lot of times when people are in higher positions, you have to be mindful of the things that you do, not only, but
Right.
the people that you're around and the people that you're associated with and the people that you call, whether it's family, friends, close acquaintances, whatever it is, you have to watch them because nobody's is exempt from anything. You
Right.
know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have people who can be close to you, but they can be your enemy.
That's a fact.
You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fact.
So you always have to be conscious of what's around you.
Man, that's so true, Jay, man. Like, you know, every time I think about it, it just really saddens me because I just feel like I just feel like, man, like we just in a different, we're in a bad place. You know what I mean? And I feel like we're getting so far away from the music. You know, music was created, man, for us to be able to feel good, to reminisce, to, you remember how, how music, man, make you feel when you hear certain songs and stuff like that. It take you back
Yeah,
to that time period and era. Oh, this was when I was in high school, or this is when I was with my little shorty or my high school sweetheart, or this was when we at the dance, or this when we went to this house party. Like, you know, I just feel like we are so far away from that now, man, because I don't understand why we're in a place where, so much of the negative energy is being pushed so far out in the front. And a lot of the music, like the music that you make, feel good music, different vibes, you're talking about relationships and situations that people can relate to. And I think that's why people relate to you so much. I relate to you in so many different ways, man, because of your pen, man, the way that you're writing, your thought process. You're still creating these pieces that people can actually feel. And I just feel like, man, with the younger generation, I don't know if it's lack of guidance. I don't know if a lot of the forefathers can't reach them or may have tried to reach them just to try to mentor. I don't know what it is, man, but it saddens me, the space that we're in right now. But I do appreciate and value everything that you blessing us with, man. You know what I mean? It's
I
really
appreciate that.
definitely, definitely. You could change anything about the game if you had the power to change something about the music business. What would that be?
Mm. If I had to change anything about the business, I would change ownership. I would
Why
I
is
would
that?
change I would change how ownership is handled
Hmm.
in this business. You know what I mean? I think any creative that is putting their work out to the masses and to the public should own their work.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like people need to be pigeonholed for their creations that they made themselves.
Right. Right. I totally agree with you with that, man. I always felt like it should have been some type of union or something design, man. For a lot of because a lot of people, man, who signed bad contracts back in the game, man, and who are our forefathers and people who opened up doors and made the sacrifices and stuff like that for a lot of us to be able to do the things that we're doing right now, because we're able to use them as blueprints of what not to do.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like a lot of those people, man, are not really getting their just due. I feel like we're just in a selfish space as people right now. And I think that social media is a gift and a curse, to be totally
yeah, I
honest with
agree.
you.
I agree.
And I wanted to ask your feelings on social media because it, like I said, it is a gift and a curse, and I feel like um, more of the negative narrative is being pushed out there, even with um, all of these new journalists that popped up over the last years on YouTube. It's just weird. It's not about YouTube used to be about the music
Yeah, yeah,
and now it's just like everybody's a journalist. Everybody want to talk about what happened. It's like it never ends. We can't get away from it.
it's
Everybody
true.
everybody got the story on it. They know this, they know that, or whatever. How do you feel about social media, and what are some of the tips that you can share with some of the newer artists or some of the artists that's in the game that may be hitting a block in the road, just trying to see how to break through with the social, with being able to utilize social media with their brand.
I mean, you got to use social media for the right reasons. I'll use me for example. When I'm using social media, I always make it a point to engage with my fans.
Right.
Always make a moment with your fans because you never know where they are. Most of the time, they could be in a different country, a different state, wherever they are. Um, you can't see them most
Right.
of the time. So you want to make some type of relationship with them. Not anything crazy, but you want them to feel like they are connected to you in a way to where anything that you do, anything that you're promoting, anything that you're selling, they're going to be there because you made that moment with them. They
Right.
feel like they have some type of connection with you to where like they're always going to be a fan of you. That's how people be uh that's how they create cult fan bases because of those tactics, right? So I've always learned that from a long time ago. So I've always made sure that I connect with all my fans, big or small, whether you're in a different country or not. I always make sure I do that. But also too, learning what not to entertain and what to
Mhm.
entertain.
Right.
Because everything doesn't deserve a reaction.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if there's a situation going on, or you might have trolls, you might have people talking mess, or whatever the case is, like I've been smart enough to not indulge in that,
Mm.
because once you indulge, you become that.
Hey man, now that right there is a super valid point because man, you can get pulled in.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're really protecting your energy, and you're really protecting your brand, because you know how easy it is, man, to get caught up in social media, and going back and forth, and because everybody's not gonna like everything. Everybody
Right.
ain't gonna like me, everybody ain't gonna like you. You just got those social media bullies out there, people who just that's their thing, that's what they do. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you dropping that gem on, because that's what I like to do, especially when I get inspirational people on like yourself. I like to say to hear it from you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I think that's
That's really
important. You
important.
know what I mean? At the end of the day, your energy and your peace is all you have. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you don't have them, it's gonna be a lonely, rough road. You
That's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean? And trust me, I've been there. So my energy and my sanity is important to me.
Absolutely. Man, listen, I want to take time out right now to allow you to give some shout outs, man. You got an amazing team, family,
Yes.
fans, anybody that you want to give flowers to right now, man. Let's go ahead and take time out, man, to show them some love, and shout whoever you want to shout out.
Oh man. Well, I'll start off with just saying shout out to everybody, because if I forget your name, don't hold it against me.
Right, right.
But man, I mean, just shout out to all my James Worthy fans out there. I love you guys so much. I love you guys deeply. You guys are amazing. Shout out to my team, Humble Sound Music Group. Amazing group of people,
They
hard
dope.
workers
They
to
dope.
to the T. I
Right.
couldn't ask for nothing better. Shout out to Big Gipp, that's my big brother. Shout out to Goody Mob, all my brothers. Shout out to the Dungeon family. Um, Man, just shout out to anybody who's creating, Shout out to anybody who's trying to make their wave in this game, because it's not easy. It's not an easy game at all. But, you know, if you stay consistent, you work hard, and you be a good person, and you treat people with respect, it's going to stick.
I love that. I love that. For anybody, man, that as we close out, for anybody that because we, like I said, man, you know, we are in, as a human race, you know, we're in a bad place. It's some tough times, man. We've been going through a lot over these last 3 years, man. And anybody that may be going through a tough time, may be feeling low in spirit, anybody as an artist that may be thinking about giving up, you know, can you give them some words of uplift and encouragement, man, to not give up and keep going?
You know, it could be a tough battle, man, you know, but I've always told people, you just have to be around people not only that inspire you, but they have to inspire themselves in order to inspire you. So, you know, by them doing that, they have to understand that, you know, in this world, nobody's going to give you anything. In this world, there's a lot of people that's not going to like you. In this world, there's going to be a lot of no's more than yeses. But you have to be your biggest cheerleader out of everybody. And that comes with humility, that comes with confidence, that comes with just knowing that you're as good as anybody else. And then the last piece of it all is learn from people that are better than you. I've always kept that in my mind. I always wanted to learn from people that are better than me, because I can't learn from somebody that I think knows everything, because there's nothing to learn.
Wow. Wow, man. Yo, y'all heard it right there from the one and only James Worthy. Let's put them social platforms out there in ways that people can actually connect with you, get more advice from you, go and stream the music. Let's put the website out there. I mean, like, you got so much stuff going on right there. And what could we look forward to?
Yes. Everybody can follow me all social media at King James Worthy. Working on a lot of different projects. Of course, Gipp Worthy is available right now, all streaming platforms. If you haven't heard it, go get a copy now. I am working on the James Worthy documentary. So that's going to be really, really interesting for fans. You know, I will be showing the whole story from top to bottom. So I'm really, really excited about that. So many other collabs coming out throughout the year with other artists. Working on my debut album. Yeah, so it's a lot going on. James Worthy tour, Goody Mob tour. Man, just stay tuned.
Man. Well, we definitely gonna be looking for, you know, we gotta you gotta keep us in the loop.
Absolutely.
You know, have us on that media list, man. You know, whatever we can do to assist in any type of way, just let us know, man. We're building from here. You know, we've been following each other for a minute. We've been supporting each other, and thank you so much for supporting me and supporting my whole entire team, man.
Absolutely.
We really, really love you and your team. And like I say, man, you have our full support, 1,000.
Wow, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate everything that you're blessing us with, man. The consistency, this music, this beautiful music that you're putting out there. It's just absolutely amazing, man. And another thing too that I want to tell you, man, that I'm super proud of everything that you have accomplished and that you are accomplishing. Thank you for being humble, man. You know what I'm saying? And showing humility all the time. Thank you so much for not being Hollywood and continuing to connect with your fans, because that's your bridge. And it's so important to not feel above your fans, because you yourself know, without the fans, man, like we're nothing doing what we're doing without the fans and the love of the people that's taking time to comment and pull up on your posts and show love. That's so important. And I'm just so thankful that you value that and you haven't lost essence of that, even at the height that you are right now. So I just want to tell you, thank you for that too, man.
Oh man, thank you so much for that, man.
For real. Listen, man, we're gonna shout out a few people before we get out of here, man. A lot of people show so much love on the live chat. Let me see if we can shout out a few people. Shout out to, of course, Live Vibe Radio. That's Vibe family right there. Shout
What's
out to
going
the
on?
only Vibe Show Casper 225. Shout out to the Blend Persian Paper. What up, Jew? Of course, Strong Jew is in the
Jew.
building. The Queen, man, love her so much. I don't know what I would do without her. Man.
She's amazing.
I'm just telling you, man. Shout out to Lisa Nichols. Claire Nichols is in the building. That's Vibe family right there. Appreciate you pulling up, showing so much love. Shout out to Town Mama. Shout out to Town Mama in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up, showing love. Shout out to Prescott, Missouri. Appreciate that love. Let's see who else we got on here. Shout out to Global Empire ENT. Appreciate that love. Pulling up, showing my special guest so much love.
Salute.
Shout out to Hood TV. Appreciate that love. Shout out to Solid No Longer TN. Thank you so much for pulling up, showing so much love to our special guest. Shout out to what is this? INSOMNIACS Entertainment Label. Appreciate that love. Thank y'all so much for pulling up, showing my special guest so much love. Let's see who else we got on here. Man, it's a lot of people that's on. A lot of people jumped off. Thank y'all so much. Everybody who dipped out, thank you so much. And everybody, shout out to everybody that's on the radio airways, man, tuning in right now. We want to thank y'all so much for all that love. Gipp and Worthy is out right now on all streaming platforms. Please, y'all make sure y'all go and get your copy and spread the word, man, so we can run these numbers up. We got the single right now on heavy rotation right now on the 97.9. So y'all can rush over there at www.thevibeshow979.net. You can request the single right now. You can request it up to 10 times a day. So y'all can go.
Let's run it up.
Y'all go and run that thing up for my guy for sure. Make sure y'all go and follow James Worthy right now at King James Worthy on Instagram. And what is this? Let's put the platforms out there one more time. Facebook and anything else. Let's put it out there one more time.
All social media platforms, King James Worthy, same for everything. So just hit that follow button. I'm always following people back as well, showing love. So all I'm asking for right now is y'all go get that Gipp and Worthy right now.
That's a fact, man. Make sure y'all go and rush out and get that. You already on here. You on your phones. Go ahead on and head on over there and go and get the project right now. Man, on behalf of me and the whole entire Vibe family, we want to say thank you so much. We're wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you're going to be doing in the future. You are a part of the Vibe family. So y'all already know the vibes. Y'all know James coming back on here again and coming back on here again and again. He's a part of this family now. This your station, man. You know what I'm saying? We love you, bro.
Salute.
Be safe out there, man, and keep on being great, bro.
Thank you so much, man. You do the same.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only James Worthy, man. We are out of here. We love y'all. Peace.